All right, all right, all right. Okay. Interesting price action so far. Out of the market is obviously very, very green. Was expecting some strength, and here we are over 1% in the pre-market. So we can't deny this strength. All right. Cannot deny the strength at all, guys. This is clear cut. A really solid bounce off of the lows. Today, let's see if we continue to the upside. Let's see. Let's see if we can continue to the upside here today. All right. So, of course, as the market got a nice bounce, we are not going to be very aggressive. All right. Let's see how these things go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Definitely leaning a bit short and a bit bearish heading into the open, of course. You know, it's very, very difficult to be bullish with this sort of price action. So, gotta do what you gotta do. Meta is up almost $15 in the pre-market. We've got Apple up a little bit in the pre-market, but Meta is a huge, huge winner so far. Crypto names are also doing really well. Coin is up really nicely. A lot of these stocks are doing pretty well in the pre-market here. All right. All right. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left of the market. We are not going to overtrade. We are going to stick to our rules. We're going to stick to our plan. We're not going to force any trades. We're going to take high quality trade setups only. We're going to do very, very well. If a trade is not in a really, really good risk reward, we're not going to take it. No matter how much we think the price can move in a certain direction, we are not going to force any trades. And we are going to stick to proper, safe risk management. The goal is not to make money. Making money is very easy. The goal is not to needlessly lose money. If that is the goal and that is the plan that we have, discipline and making money is inevitable. So let's go ahead and make sure that we do that today. And yeah, that is the goal. All right. So in my opinion, heading into this morning, it should get a bit of a pullback. You know, I do see the market being a bit bearish here heading into these highs. It would be very, very interesting to see us bounce very aggressively and continue to bounce without getting a pullback first. So as we're seeing, the VIX is dropping. Crude oil is also dropping. These large tech stocks are bouncing very aggressively. Meta is up almost now $20. In the pre-market, we see Bitcoin bouncing as well. So, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff so far. Let's see if we get a continued bounce to the upside first and then a drop. But overall, you know, the market does seem a bit at a level of resistance. Let's see what ends up happening here. All right, big wick. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's see what's going on. All right. There's a big red candle. And there's a big pullback as expected. All right, so let's see if we can enter puts here. All right, let's see if we can enter some puts here. All right. If I essentially want to see if 640 can hold. If that can hold, then that could definitely be a good spot for puts. Okay, never mind. We got a massive rip to the upside. Now we wait. Huge, huge rip to the upside after a huge rip to the downside. So far, based off of this price action, we're not going to force anything. We're going to let the market even itself out. If it does want to continue into making new highs, then let it. So let's go ahead and see if that occurs. The NASDAQ is showing strength. The S&P 500 is showing strength. You don't want to be aggressively bearish into strength. So we must wait. This is really, really interesting price actions to start the morning. Really trying to show extreme buying pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if this just continues into a new high of day. And if the QQQ doesn't retest 602 off of this bounce, because they're trying to show a lot of buying pressure. But normally, on normal days, this buying pressure doesn't really sustain itself. But just purely based off of the overnight price action and the macro positive economic news that we're getting out of crude falling and things like that occurring, and the VIX also falling, we're getting a continued bounce to the upside that normally shouldn't really be occurring. But it is. So now we wait. Now we wait. So now the NASDAQ made a new high. We're at 601. The SPY is at resistance here. We're at 668.80. Let's see if the NASDAQ can make new highs. Head into 602. This is still not really a bearish setup. Like, if anything, this is just the opportunity to buy dips. Still, this is not really a bearish setup. Still, what we're looking at on the overall market. Even though the SPY is at resistance and the QQQ is at resistance, unless the QQQ can break below 600.5, then, you know, overall, these are just still dip buying opportunities to go long, in my opinion. New high, as expected, as it, Nasdaq just made a new high. We got a pullback and then we ripped higher. Makes sense. This sort of strength is not made to be bearish. And of course, we also don't want to aggressively stand in front of strong bullish price action, right? So we've got to let things play out the way that they want. Still, really, really tough to start going short it can continue to rip to the upside. Unfortunately, this is a really, really just ugly long opportunity, but they are painting a very, very bullish picture. It's very difficult to be bearish, in my opinion. So we made new highs as expected, right? We should continue to make new highs. Once again, I'm not really going to be bearish unless we break below essentially the low of the day, right? So if we even pull back and drop to the opening price, really around that area, that's still it's you know stuff. They're really, really painting a very bullish picture. Maybe things turn after 10 a.m. Things can maybe turn after 10 a.m. or heading into 10 a.m. But this is a really, really interesting price action that we're seeing so far. If we break back below 601, that could be an interesting short. So we broke below 601. Let's see if we close below 601. Yeah, this is a pretty decent short, I think. If it as it broke and closed below 601 and the SPY is still holding below 668. This normally should like rip to the downside, honestly. The Nasdaq, the S&P, it's just difficult to try to short this because the overall momentum that we're seeing so far is so bullish. But generally, we dropped. So the SPY like dropped below major resistance and closed. The Nasdaq did the same. Broke below 601. Normally, man, we should be dropping really aggressively on the Nasdaq here. We should see a new retest of the lows, actually. So we're getting a pullback as expected. How much of a pullback are we going to get is the question. If we can break below the 50 simple moving average on the 1 minute time frame, which is around 600.25 on the QQQ and around 668.50 on the SPY, that gives a much clearer short. But still, overall, the overall momentum is still bullish until we break below those levels of support. Because as you can see, the SPY is trying to reclaim back above 668.70. The Nasdaq is a bit heavier here. Yeah, normally we drop very, very aggressively. So just unfortunate price action. Definitely would not want to go long here. The 600 puts on the QQQ are moving really nice. All right. We bounced and wicked right off of the 50 simple moving average. Let's see if we break below it. Normally, we just continue to drop. Off of this sort of setup, we continue to drop. This is not a sustainable move to the upside, but the SPY is basically hovering at high of day because the IWM is bouncing very aggressively, but the Nasdaq is moving normally, right? Whereas the SPY is moving very aggressively bullish because the IWM is getting a lot of love. The Nasdaq is doing what it should be. But once again, it has come down exactly to this 50 simple moving average and bounced. But even then, you know, this is not, it's just tough to really be extremely bearish unless we broke below those levels And as you can see, we bounced exactly, literally to the dot of this 50 simple moving average. And yeah, the SPY just ripped into a new high of day. The NASDAQ is still trading below 601. So as it's trading below 601, it really begs the question if this is a good short with 601 as a stop loss. Which generally, in my opinion, it should be. Let's see. I think it is. I think we might have to go short here. All right, I think we might have to go short here. Sorry, I was muted. All right. Okay. If we show weakness again at 601, then that is a really important level of resistance, because that would coincide with the SPY hitting around 670. But even then, you know, the SPY is showing a lot of strength. It's interesting stuff here, man. Interesting price action. Interesting price action. I think we're gonna have to go short here. So it's gonna have to be a very small position. All right, I'm in light, very light lotto QQQ calls. QQQ puts. Sorry. Market should be dropping below 601, holding resistance. If it doesn't, you know, that's why we're in a very light position. But everything is pointed towards a bit of a drop lower. We had a monstrous bounce overnight. The NASDAQ is showing clear-cut resistance at the 601 level. The SPY overshot, and now it's holding resistance at 670. So let's see. If we bounce, we bounce. This is going to be a really small position. Do not let this be a big position. But the trade setup is definitely there. Have to take it. As soon as we entered, decided to bounce right to 601, and it looks like we're going to close within a minute. All right, okay, all righty, nice, spectacular. If we get a close above, wow, this is really strong. This is very abnormally strong. If 601 holds, then this is really abnormally strong. Yeah, this is a really ridiculous strong candle. $1.50 move in one candle. All right. 601.50 is holding. Yeah, man, this was unfortunate. I am still bearish up here. Still bearish up here. It's unfortunate. But of course, you know, as we closed above 601, we had to sell it. And that's life. We'll re-enter if there's a better position. But you can't really assume that these sort of candles are not going to really happen. It is what it is. Can't, what's the word? Can't plan for $1.50 candles. That's life. So now with that being said, my initial thesis was, you know, the overall market was showing extreme strength. And it looks like that was the case so far. So now we're just not going to force anything. We're not going to have a bias. We're going to wait and play what the market gives us. It looks like if we are going to get a pullback, it'll be after 10 a.m. Until then, this is really abnormal strength. You can't really do much about it. It is what it is. So we don't want to just continue to short into every sign of weakness. You know? So in one candle, we went from 603 to 601.70. So can't do much about that. Just really tough to be overall bullish. Especially, I mean, look, it's just tough to be bullish, man. That's unfortunate. Another monstrous move to the downside. Another another red candle, a dollar move. So this is all really bearish up here, but this is just extreme buying pressure. Yeah, honestly. This is extreme buying pressure, but it shouldn't sustain itself. That's the problem. If we can remain... Look, I'm going to be honest. This is a really good shorting opportunity again. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, this is a really good shorting opportunity again, but we're just going to have to wait. Don't want to force anything. It can easily just bounce back up and retest 601.50. We're currently sitting at 601, right? They're painting a very bearish picture, but we can easily bounce back up to 601.50. So we don't want to be extremely biased. But this is as bearish as these situations get, man, honestly. Might have to enter short again, honestly, man, with high day stop loss. Unfortunately. The issue is we don't want to just mindlessly have a bias, right? The setup was there the first time. The setup is still here. But pragmatically speaking, what do we see out of the market? Regardless of what the setups are showing, what are we seeing out of the behavior of the market? Is that these were good shorting opportunities, but they still ripped higher. So we don't want to continuously take multiple shorting opportunities unless they like really are screaming at us. And they are starting to. They're starting to scream at me. They really are. All right. We might have to do it again. We might have to do it again, guys. Yeah, this should just be a light trade, and we just have to take it, honestly. It's unfortunate. I'm in light QQQ puts again. I mean, you got to take the trade. That's life. Even if we bounce again, like the setup is there. It's setting up for a monstrous like vomit to the downside. If we bounce, then we bounce. But I have a high of day stop loss. The downside target should be around like 598. So the risk reward is definitely there to the downside. Huge risk reward, unfortunately. Have to take it. We're seeing weakness. We're seeing a failure of the prior high of day. I mean, we're seeing the SPY hold below 670. But these trades have to just be very light, because even on these bearish setups, the first bearish setup that we took, really, really bearish setup, but we ripped higher. So on this, we could easily rip higher as well. But, you know, we have to take it nonetheless, unfortunately. That's just the way that some trades work, man. Literally, the only reason why the market would bounce would be just continued aggressive buying. And we can't really plan for that. You know, we just have to trade based off of what we're seeing. So what we're seeing is bearish structure, the prior high of day breaking a huge red candle into resistance, the SPY holding below 670, and the IWM holding below the 10 simple moving average. Lots of things are holding resistance. So large, you know, potential weakness. If we do bounce, then we bounce. It is what it is. Have to take the trade setup to really come in, unfortunately. That's life. If it doesn't work. So look, we just had a huge pullback, right? Congratulations. This could easily bounce back up. So that's the thing. We could easily rip right back up. That's just the way that this bullish price action is today. But let's see if we look at that wick. You see that wick? Right off of support, monstrous bounce right again. So this is, you know, they're really trying to hold this up, unfortunately. But you can see the You could see the bearish setup there. But if they're going to wick it up with a large candle, you can't really do much about it except hold light and keep a you know, small position. Can't do anything about it today. I mean, look, you like big green candles like this, you cannot really do much about it. If the setups are bearish, the best you could do is just have a very light position and trade what shows up. These were all really, really high quality trade setups that normally drop and hit, 50, 60, 100%. But the fact that they're not working, it is what it is. You have to take them regardless. Let's see if the high of day gets invalidated. It looks like it's about to. That's life. Time and time on our streams and everything, we take tons of wins. But, on setups like this, it is what it is, man. Can't do anything about it. If we get a close above high of day, then I will sell. Looks like we're about to close above high of day. That's life, man. We didn't yet really close above. Let's see if this gets a pullback. We can close again below 601.50, then we're back in business. This is really bearish up here, man. What the hell is going on right now, bro? Look at these candles. Like, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're taking really, really high quality trade setups. But when you have these large candles that move like $2, $1.50 within 30 seconds, I mean, look, like you have to take the trade setups when they come. And if they work out, they work out. But this is just some crazy, crazy price action. That's why on days like this, you have to go very, very light. And you just have to take stabs at the trades. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. Once again, this is clear as day, like just bearishness. Every setup, the past two setups that we took have been clear as day bearishness. The only thing that is stopping us from vomiting is just aggressive buyers. The technical setups are there to be extremely bearish as well. So it is what it is, you know. Can't do anything about it. Let's just see if this continues to play out. If not, then that is life, man. Now, if this rips to a new high of day off of this bearish setup, two huge red candles breaking high of day and then reversing right off of high of day with huge red candles. I mean, like, it normally, guys, this is like as bearish as things get. So it is what it is, man. You can't really do anything about these setups except just go light and let the chips fall where they may. This can honestly just continue to rip higher. This is like a really ugly bullish setup that can just rip another like $2 based off of what we're seeing. So the market has to make a decision really quickly. If this holds the highs here, then the risk reward to the downside is very nice. But normally, based off of what we're seeing, it can absolutely, like, it's like a 50-50 trade. So we either, it's a 50-50 trade up here, honestly, which is the unfortunate reality with this price action that we're seeing. We either rip very aggressively in either direction. But it needs to be quick. I mean, look, so we just had a monster red candle, and it looks like we're about to have another monster green candle. Can't do anything about that, man. Having no pullbacks is very, very abnormal, man. So even on the most bullish days, having no clear pullbacks is not normal. So let's just see how we play this one out. You know, if we're going to continue to hold, you know, highs, we should be seeing a break below 600 on the QQQ. Generally, should end up seeing a pullback to 598. So the risk reward to the downside is huge. So unfortunately, you know, that's why you have to take these setups, regardless of how bullish. I mean, yeah, I'm just repeating myself here. Like these big wicks to the upside, these big green candles followed by big red candles. You can't really do much about it, man. Okay, so we're almost back to entry price. But again, this doesn't mean anything because we're still holding 601 as support on the QQQ. So they can easily still hold 601 from the, like, they could hold it for dear life right here as support, given how strong the overall market has been. That's life. Now is not the time to start entering short, is what I'm saying. So far, off of that setup that I was saying a couple of minutes ago, the pullback did occur. And generally, once again, we should continue to drop lower. But 601 is a clear-cut level of support. And unless we could drop below that, and unless we could drop below 670 on the SPY, then this is just going to hold and we're going to bounce. Should we, though? Normally? No. Yeah, most likely, are we? Based off of today's price action? I mean, it seems like it. What is this? A big green candle already. Like, I mean, bro. Any day now. Just ripping up and down in a dollar. Dollar here, dollar there. So we held 601 really, really well. And it looks like we are about to break another move to the upside. 601 held as support. That became a very big bear trap. But as we approach this level, we've had two monstrous red candles. And then as we approach levels of support, we've had monstrous green candles. So this is just unfortunate price action to start the week. Unfortunately. Hopefully everyone was in very light. And that is life. That's life. I'm out. 601 at 126. That's life. That is life. Can't do anything about it. And honestly, we could probably just pull back here. But who knows? Regardless, we'll wait for the next setup. So far, we are down 0-2. Took two amazing risk-reward trades. But the momentum is just ridiculously bullish. Monstrous green candles. But then we also had monstrous red candles. And it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. That's why I was very, very adamant about being very light. This is so bearish still. This is really, really bearish. But, you know, it is what it is. I was adamant about being very light. On a day like today, you know, you can't really be aggressively a large size. And that is life, man. You can't be aggressively large size on days like today. So 601 is a really, really big make or break level on the QQQ. And 670 is clearly a very big make or break level on the SPY. So let's see if this continues higher. We could start looking for longs. And we could play the momentum to the upside. But yeah, man. Just got to keep focused. Got to keep focused. Not every trade works. Most of them do. We were just taking the highest quality trade setup with the best probable outcomes. And let the numbers fall where they may. That's life. Gotta love it. This is a really bearish setup again, man. Honestly, that sucks. Let's see. All right. All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. I mean, look, this is so... We're holding 602. We have major resistance at 602.80. All right. 602.80 is major resistance. Oof. Bro, this is so bullshit, bro. This is such a bearish price action, and then it just... Ay. Look at how beautiful these disgusting moves to the downside, bro. Like, monster rips to the downside, and then, bro, crazy. Damn, bro. I hope, honestly, guys. Yeah. Would you guys hate me? Would you guys hate me if I mean, look, man, this is such a good short. This is still a really good short, man. Like, oh man, bro. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, guys. This is just such a good setup again, man. Ay. Bro. This is such a good setup to the downside. That is the problem here. Oh, man. Not even tilted. Just pragmatically speaking, these are really high quality trade setups. Oh, I'm gonna take March 16th, March 17th puts. Like, so 1 day to expiration. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So these are gonna be further dated. So let's see. I'm gonna let you guys know, but basically it's further dated to give it's gonna be a safer trade. This is just, let's see. I will let you know if we could get a bit closer to high. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think we have to take these. So March 17th, 601 puts. You could take a 0 DTE as well. So let's see how this plays out. It is what it is, man. This is just very abnormal buying. Like this sort of bullishness doesn't really make sense. So that's why like I'm at least happy that we took the 1 DTE, which gives us time on this and it will stunt the loss. But this sort of buying pressure is very, very abnormal. How much was this wick? This was about a 60 cent, 70 cent move in a minute. So, I mean, look, that's why we took the 1 DTE. Have to take the setups where they come in. After weeks and weeks and weeks of just constant wins, it's going to be nice having a couple of L's. It's nice. It's life. That's life. But yeah, we're gonna hold this loose. Let's see if high of day breaks. Once again, monster green and then a monster red. Can't do much about that. Let's see if the high holds. Like you can't do anything about like there's not much else you could do about that. The look at that monster red candle at resistance. SPY held resistance. The Nasdaq got a major pullback. You cannot be bullish off of a setup like this. You know, it is what it is. That's life. It's like almost impossible. It's like, oh wow, there's a really good. I mean, unless it drops back down to 601, or if 601.50 can hold, sure, but you can clearly see the weakness. So let's see. Can't do anything about it. Trading safe. We're in 1 day to expiration puts. Can't do anything about it. This honestly might take another half hour or an hour to end up dropping, curling into the highs, and then eventually pulling back. But right now, it doesn't seem like it wants to. And it is what it is. It's all good. It's very rare that we have multiple red trades. It's all right. I mean, this is really trying to just continue to curl upwards, but we just have a stop loss at high of day, and we let the trade fall where it may. That's life. Even now, this is a really like the risk reward to the downside is absolutely phenomenal. We should like revert back the entire day, and it should drop very, very dramatically. But the only saving grace is just the amount of extreme buying pressure that we're getting with the huge green candles, because we could clearly see the large red candles at resistance, but we're also seeing huge green candles at support. So really, really interesting. Can't do anything about it. It is what it is. Just the size of these green candles, man. It's like crazy. Congrats to everyone that's holding calls, man. Happy for you guys. Happy for you guys. Hopefully you guys can we can live vicariously through your profits. What are you gonna do, man? Look, man, a trade's a trade. We're almost back to break even. It is what it is. So we're just gonna have to see if this finally drops lower. Doesn't look like it because it is bouncing every red candle it gets. So let's see, man. Let's just finally get a move. How many trades did we take? This is the third one, right? Every time we get more than 2 losses in a row, I think the next like 7 or 8 trades end up being like monsters. So let's see. Let's see, man. We took the best quality trade setups. So it's not like I'm not even upset. It's not like we took bad trades. These were really, really good trades, honestly. Couldn't do anything differently. In hindsight, I mean, even then we couldn't. These were all lotto small sides. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Gotta love it, man. None of these long setups were high quality long setups, but the momentum was bullish, right? None of these short setups had the bearish momentum, but they were all high quality short setups. So in those two instances, you have to you have to trade with a much lighter position. And that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. That's light. Target to the downside should still be below 600 on the Qs. We're back to break even again. And let's see if we finally get the vomit to the downside, boys and girls. Is this finally going to be the one? No guarantee. All right. We got a nice little red candle. No guarantee that it'll continue to the downside. This can easily just rip right back up to the upside. So I'm only holding it for high of day stop loss. Okay. You guys can do what you want with it now that it is a little bit profitable. So, hey, man. The setup has been there all morning. This is a rising wedge pattern as well, man. This is a rising wedge. So, rising wedges are extremely bearish patterns. And we're right at the rising wedge level of support. So, if we drop down below this, this should be dropping to at least below 601. This is the setup that would drop below 601. If it doesn't, hey man, can't do anything about it. Hey man, it's got to take the trade setup where they come. That's life. If it holds 601.50, I mean, we're dropping right to 601.50. So look, basically, if you guys are looking at the 1 minute time frame, the QQQ and the SPY are both holding. All right, no, they're not. Never mind. Okay, so they drop below the 50. If they can maintain below the 50 simple moving average on the 1 minute time frame, this should get a clear-cut, fluid move to the downside. Huge risk-reward trade. Okay? We should be seeing a break below 601. Very, very rare that we do not see a break below 601. We broke below 601. Monster bull crap to the downside. Unfortunately, we had to remain short because these opportunities were there, clear as day. You could not do anything except remain short off of these drops, okay? So I understand, oh my, look, there it goes. It should continue dropping. It might bounce back up to 601 and it should continue dropping. We should see below 600. But regardless, it is what it is. This was a really, really nice trade. You got to take some profits, leave runners. That's life. Whole crap. But it is what it is. That's life, man. That's life. You can't win every trade, but the setups are clearly there. And when they approach and when they're there, man, you can't do anything except take them. So it was just unfortunate. We took 2 trades earlier where, once again, guys, I was not tilted. I apologized. Listen, I apologized before taking the trade because we were going short again. And generally, no one does that, right? Logically speaking, when someone is trying to, trade, if 2 trades in that direction don't go in your favor, you would be, you know, bewildered to try to take it again. But, you know, you had to. Unfortunately, you had to. You had to do it, man. You had to do it. You couldn't do anything else. That's life, man. This should continue to drop. It should really, really continue to drop, like very aggressively still. This is not an opportunity to be very bullish, in my opinion. We should make new lows. 601 is clearly holding us resistance. 601.50, in my opinion, will continue to hold as resistance as well. And we should... Hey, man. Hey, man, technically... Listen, technically, we should continue to drop below 600, okay? On the QQQ. All right? This was what, a 100-point drop in the NQ? Listen, man. Just have to take trades. Take multiple trade setups. Have nice risk reward. Have decent stop losses. That's life. Can't do anything about it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? That's life. Let me see how the chat is doing. I hope everyone in the chat is doing well. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. You know, we lost some trades, you know, so I needed to lock in. I'm not really in the mood to like look at hold on. Sorry. 1 second. All right. So if we're holding look, if we're holding below 601 and if we even rebound up to 601.50 and look, this is here we go. Hey, man. Had to remain bearish. I'm sorry. I apologize, but you had to remain bearish, man. That's life, dog. That's life, dog. If this goes into a new low of day, the only mistake that we made was I became a bit more risk averse on the third trade where we took 1 DTE contracts. If my conviction was still the same, which it was, right? The highest quality, this is the only mistake that we made today. The only mistake was not taking 0 DTE contracts again. That's life. It is what it is. Because you have to let the numbers fall in your favor, okay? Like when you have a good conviction and the trade setup gets to even more overextension and is even a better opportunity to go short, if you start tapering back, then you're not truly letting the numbers play in your favor. And I think this was a really big blunder on my part, actually. That is the only mistake that I made, unfortunately. That's life, but everyone should be either small red or small profitable. That's life, but oh well. I think it also has a lot to do with streaming, right? Because in my Discord, everyone is already on the same page. But then I just feel bad, you know, I just want everyone to do well, you know, but okay. So pragmatically speaking, we're holding 600. The 200 simple moving average is being held on the QQQ and the SPY on the 1 minute. Still not really an amazing still not really an amazing setup for longs, man. 601 is this is really bearish. Okay? Like as long as we can remain below 601, this is still bearish. It is what it is though. Mm. Mm. 601 is holding as resistance, but I mean, we're basically right at a very important breaking point right now in the market. We are at a very important breaking point right now for the market. Mm. Um, should continue to drop and break below 600. Yeah, there it is, man. Fudge, bro. Fudge, fudge, fudge. I mean, look, like, I had a clear cut freaking bias for a damn reason, bro. But fudge, bro. Mm. Shit. I mean, this is a win, but like I was calling this win all freaking morning, and now it decides to happen when we taper back on our damn position. Mm. It is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Shit. I mean, I'm at least we caught something. At least we caught this whole move lower. Oof. Next time, I'm gonna trade the way I trade. All right. I'm gonna trade the way I trade. This would have been a. I think this probably would have been a. I had. Fudge, bro. Ah, what did I have, bro? I had 600 puts. Mm, yeah, bro. This would have been over 100% trade. I got a little bit of the 600 puts, and then same day, and then I took. Mm, it's all good. Good problem to have. Good problem to have. We at least called this move to the downside. I had a clear cut bias the entire morning for a very, very logical, high quality trade setup reasons. All right. It is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Is this a long opportunity? Absolutely not. The market should continue to drop lower. Does it become a good spot to just sell all, bro? Yes, honestly, I'm motherfucker. Um, yeah, it is what it is. Two losses. Caught the whole move lower on third trade. That sucks though because yeah, I mean, I'm out. I'm out of everything, and it is what it is. Market definitely wants to bounce here off of 599.75 on the QQQ and a 668 on the SPY. So let's see what it ends up doing here. All right. Let's go on and see what's going to end up happening in the market. I should be what's it called? A horse person? No, auction person. Yeah, that's what I should be. Yep. Oh, going once. Yep. Oh yeah. All right. I think we should go long. We might have to go long if this 599.80 level holds on the QQQ. If it doesn't, I don't think it should. I don't think it should because overall, like my overall bias for the day, as we were shorting up here at the highs, my target was below 598. So we still have another $2 left, at least, to drop lower, in my opinion, on the Nasdaq. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. So my initial target was below 598 on the QQQ, which is another $2 lower. But if we end up bottoming out here at around 600 and around 668 on the SPY, then it makes sense to go long. Sure does make sense, if I might say so myself. Oh, darn. Resistance is being held. I mean, look, but this is... I would normally go long here. Easily, I would normally go long here. With a stop loss right at 599.50. I just don't want to take it yet. But just it's tough. It's tough to take. I would normally almost always go long here. This should rip. Like 9 times out of 10, this rips to 650. Absolutely. Like it almost always rips to 650. And it looks like that's what's about to occur, honestly. But damn, man. Yeah, I mean, this should break back up to 601. And then at 601, the market is going to really make a decision. The risk reward to go long down here is really good, but I'm not entering. It's just not giving enough. Damn. Like, it really sucks. It really, really sucks because I would normally always go long down here. And it actually pains me not to go long. But, just the market internals are still really, really weak. So I don't believe it's a high enough risk reward, honestly, to the upside. We might stop at 650, 640. But goddamn, bro. 9 times out of 10, I would always go long down there. That's life. It's all good. I'm just gonna start coping for, a couple seconds, maybe a minute, and just talk about, we just gotta be patient. Take high quality trade setups. It is what it is. And yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. The proof is in the pudding. Burr, 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 burr. You know, just get a bunch of shirts with these things on them. Ah. So, I'm gonna be very honest, right? The reason why I didn't go long down here is because I believe the move to the upside is gonna be stunted. Because I still believe the overall trajectory of the market is bearish. Okay? So the upside, so the only reason why I was taking those puts at the top, right? The only reason why we were taking these shorts at the top, right? And we didn't sell here, and the reason why we took these shorts, right? Was because the downside target. So we were taking them at what? We were taking them at like 602, right? 601. Look at this bullshit, bro. I'm very, very happy that we didn't go long. Crazy. So anyway, when we were taking these puts, they were at what? 60 like 601, 602, right? My target to the downside was at least $3 lower. Okay? So the risk reward was huge to the downside. The reason why I didn't go long down here is because the risk reward, at most, in my opinion, we would have hit maybe 601.50. Sorry, 650 or 601. So that's only $1 move or $1.50 move. That's not as enticing because I still believe the overall momentum of the market is still bearish. So on these sorts of setups, even if we do end up bouncing, I just don't really feel too comfortable, honestly, Ay, ay, ay. We're holding 599.80. This is actually if we close above 600.1, then we should go long. Regardless of everything that I just said, if we close above 600.1, then we should go long. And then have a stop loss of low of day. Let's see. It all depends on if we're going to close above that. Doesn't look like it. Saved from a fake move. Nice and simple. It is what it is, man. The upside was not there. So that's why, 9 times out of 10, I would have taken this, but I just had to stay away from it, unfortunately. And yeah, it's life, dude. That is life. So yeah, once again, guys, really, really sorry. I'm not looking at the chat. Like, I just wanted to really make sure that and I really love you guys and appreciate you guys. Like I don't mean to disrespect anyone by not responding to what you guys are saying, but um, I just really wanted to make sure that we only take the best high quality trade setups and just, you know, there's a time for fun and games and things like that. Like I also have to be cognizant that people were also watching, and I wanted to make sure that you guys properly understood my thought process and my reasoning for why all these trades were taking place. And I wanted to do my best to do right by you guys instead of, whimsically, you know, whimsically just talking and just having a nice little cute time. This is really, really setting up for a really nice, just bullish move, man. Mm. Might have to go long, actually, if we could break back above 6. Let's see. If we could break above 610, once again, then we really should be going long with a stop loss low of day. We could take a 1 day to expiration contracts to be safer. Yeah, 610 is still holding as resistance. Let's see if we can find. Yeah, I'm in light. Should we go long into this? Yeah, I'm in light. 1 day to expiration. QQQ calls. Had to take it. It is what it is. Okay, nice bounce. To take it, sell some, leave runners, sell some. This is just gonna be, bro. This is silly price action, honestly. But you have to sell some as it occurs, as the profit comes. Mm, that's it. Yeah, it should be a simple trade. If this, honestly, if this still holds, then it could easily be a monster to the upside. We had to take it. Yeah, man. We caught this bottom as well. Had to take it. Whether it worked out or not, I had to take the trade. The setup was there. The risk reward was still decently there, and that level that I wanted us to close above, the 600.1, we closed above that. So that was a clear cut opportunity to go long, and that worked out really, really well. So that's life. Can't do anything about it. Have to take trade setups where they come. I didn't want to go long initially, right? But then off of this extra pullback and big green candle, etc., had to take it off of that. Okay. So the market is ever changing. It's dynamic. You have to consistently make new decisions. And it is what it is. This is still decent, even if it holds low of day. But you know. No reason to be bearish. No real reason still to be bearish. We can, as we're breaking above 600.5, and as the SPY is breaking above 668.50, the upside is there, bro. So it's very, very nice. This was a really solid risk reward trade once again. Really, really good. Good freaking trade, bro. Very, very good trade. And we are at 601. So it is what it is. Beautiful trade, man. All right. Beautiful trade, guys. Make sure you've sold the majority of your position now that we hit 601. And yeah, man. Now there's no guarantee, okay? So there's no guarantee of what happens next. We could easily drop lower, but we caught a lot of this move to the upside. The last target to the upside is going to be around 601.50. But, if we get to there, then honestly, then the bullish headwinds really, really start to take into consideration, and we can end up seeing a new high of day. So this does not usually happen. Generally, we drop here. So, and yeah, it looks like we're failing at 601. But, who knows? Who knows? Okay, I mean, yeah, I can't really talk. So I'm gonna head off of the stream and everything right now. So hopefully with these two trades, we could have at least made some more money and all that good stuff. But with that being said, thank you guys. And I hope it worked out for everybody. And once again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. And we will be back tomorrow, man. 60, oh man, 601 is acting as resistance. We might have to go short here. I would normally go short here at 601, but it is what it is. All right. I can't talk through these trades right now. All right. I'm fasting. I can't drink water. So, yeah, I just got to stay quiet. But I love you guys. Take care. Be safe today. Do not trade aggressively. And just, damn, hold on, bro. Might have to go short. 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. I would almost always go short here. Oof. I would always, almost like 9 times out of 10, I would go short here because we hit the 601 target to the upside. It was a perfect opportunity for longs to take profit. Hmm. Damn, we're gonna get a monster pullback if we drop below 600. If we could close below 630, 620-ish area, this is gonna make a new low of day. Do you remember? Oh man, oh man. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Oh, sorry about that. I thought I was my bad. I thought I was far enough away from the mic that you guys didn't hear everything. I really apologize. Sorry about that. Mother fudger. Mother fudger. Monster pullback. I would almost always go short at 601. It is what it is. At least you guys are seeing, even after taking some losses, right? At least you guys are seeing the thought process. Because not every trade works out, but as a whole, they really do. Because I only take high quality trades. If a high quality trade doesn't work out, it is what it is. If Steph Curry is open at the 3-point line, he has to take the shot, whether it works out or not. So that's life, man. This is unfortunate. We didn't do well. All right, love you guys. Let me see what the downward target would be. This should normally break below 599.80. And then this should normally hit 598. Okay. 598-ish area is where I would normally look for longs. Okay. Off of this move lower. So keep that in mind. None of this is bullish unless we either hit closer to 598 or we break back above 670. Okay. That's that on the QQQ. Love you guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your trading session. Just be careful. I can't really talk or else I would be here. But love you guys. Take care. Have a good one.